Let me double check. I think we're up, but it's not really making that clear. Oh, okay, we're on Twitch. Are we on YouTube? Yes, yes we are. Oh wait, what was I saying? Can I? Hang on. Okay. I don't really know how I'm supposed to check the chat. Oh, the bitrate's so bad. Hang on. Is it like able to move? Yeah, okay, so it can move. Not sure why the bitrate is so low, probably because I'm. Oh, what the fuck? Okay, that was weird. I'm just gonna turn this off. See if I can start boosting up the bitrate. Um. Okay. I think I have to do this like this. Which kind of sucks, but what are you gonna do? I'm gonna put on some background music, just kind of. It isn't like, ominously quiet when I'm not talking. Um, 1 second. Okay. So this looks. Hang on, I gotta test something. Uh, does the script pop up? No, I have to do that separately. Okay. Let me add another window capture code. Um. Oh, that was fast. Okay, I'm also gonna shrink this down. Or wait, no, I'm just gonna turn it off. Okay. So this is nothing so far. All of this equates to nothing. Actually, why am I listening to this? I can just put on the fucking Limbus music. Let me go make a playlist real quick. Okay. Oh, my phone turned off. What the fuck is this? Live chat summary? No, turn that shit off. We ain't having no fucking AI bullshit. Alright, so far I just added these to some of the battle themes. Oh, forgot to have middle. I don't know how the fuck I did that. Shuffle. Loop. Alright. Hope y'all like middle and all that. So far, and this still means nothing. All that we have is a base plate, character controlling, and basic enemy spawns, which spawns a set of enemies at a time. That's all it is. I forget how short middle finger Toko is. For this, we're gonna do a bit. Let's nope, that's archived. I meant okay. You know what? We're gonna hop into Blender real quick. It's not signal. You can hear me? Oh. Okay, here's Blender. Hey, DG. We are working on the city. And right now, it's time to model. So, I'm actually going to put this up to... Actually, you're the only one here, it's not really... Okay, Fiji, what Black Silence weapon do you want to see? I'm going to try... I have to make all the Black Silence weapons. Which one should I make first? Because after looking at them, I'm realizing they're not really that complex, except for Ranga, and yeah, mostly just Ranga. Because Ranga is gauntlets, and gauntlets seem really annoying to make. Well, no. The reason is in the endless mode, since it's first person, the player model will just end up being the hands. When it comes to Demo 3, yes, there will actually be a player model, but that's a ways away. Also, I forgot to mention, I am also, for once, streaming on YouTube as well. I'm streaming on both. Alright, well, you said wheels? Alright, let's do wheels. Wheels industry. Wheels seems the easiest. Yeah. I'm not gonna say how much it costs me to be able to do this. Okay. Wheels. Alright, starting with the cube. Crank it. Let's, realizing, actually, no, let's not start with the cube. Actually, yes, let's start with the cube. Realizing I'm not really sure how to make a hilt. Does Wheels Industry have a hilt? It does not have a hilt. In fact, it's kind of blunt. Like, Wheels Industry is pretty blunt. Doesn't look sharp at all, so in all reality... Though, then again, you don't really get to... Yeah, it's a big slab, so... In all reality... In all reality, this would pretty much just be Wheels Industry. It's just a giant hole. Well, there's Wheels Industry. I'm joking, obviously, but... Okay, that's an AI chatbot. We are... Good. Okay, blade flat. Actually, okay, let's just start over. Because realizing how blunt this is, I can just pretty much go until... Does it at least have a handle that looks reasonable? Okay, Wheels Industry does actually have a pretty interesting handle. It has a literal wheel on the end. Oh yeah, I can undo it. There. Here's the... Okay, this is the good thing. Okay, so make it flat. I would use mirror, but... okay. Subdivided. I can undo, don't worry. It's a fucking paddle. Okay. Just... So like this, just make it a square. Because we have a flat image, and that's the best we get for Wheels Industry. What was that? Subdivide, subdivide. Edges. Dude, I don't really model. I'm a programmer above all. When it's blades, like, you mean the wheel that it gets its name from? Check game. I'm on the wiki. Check game. Did you make that, or did someone else make that? I just realized, why am I modeling these myself? I mean, yeah, for the charm, obviously, but the issue that... Oh, that's what wheels looks like. Okay, hang on. Middle beam. This is not my strong suit, if you can't tell. I gotta look up. Actually, that's the nice one. So kind of like that. It has that little notch. Okay, does this look better, or did the other one look better? Like with the the lower notch. Is anyone actually on YouTube? No. Why did I take the stream? Okay. One second, I just realized I didn't share my screen everywhere. Okay. Truded. What do you mean truded like? Oh, up here. You mean up here? Okay, look. I don't know what... Okay, I'm realizing now why the fuck my modeling is all bloody when I don't even have the code for weapons working. So, I am going to save this as a base. Feels fun. But we are... And we're getting into what I actually am good at. Which is code. Okay, I'm realizing now I only have 5 songs, and listening to these on loop are going to be very annoying. Do you have any recommendations for music? Background music. What the fuck? I mean, this is... Wait. The camera's facing that way. Okay. Let's just make a basic stick as like a test weapon. And let's move into code. So finally, I get to make something for the player that isn't just movement. I'm making a test script for this. Hang on, I'm realizing now I should put in chat for YouTube. Catbox, Outsource. Wait. Do I need a second chat for YouTube? Yeah, I'm gonna test message. Does it? Okay, so yes, it does pop up there as well. I don't need a second. Oh, it is. Oh. Right. Okay. Let's... So for right now, I just want to make the weapon able to function. Actually, double check this. Yeah. Yeah, okay. Wait, you guys can't even see this. Whoops. Here's the code. Wait. Oh shit, this goes above the chat box. Oh, right. System to the system, right? Absolutely. Ugh. What? Fucking hate making these kind of animations. Why am I adding multiple hitboxes? That only has 2 hitboxes. I don't actually know if I need to here, but the thing I'm doing right now is, I would hope, simple, but I'm overcomplicating it. To simply explain, I don't even think we need it. Basically what it's doing is, every time you click the button, swing the weapon, which is down here, starts coroutine, which is like a second long, just so that the hitbox doesn't, you know, stay on forever. Actually, it's like 0.25 seconds. And if this equals 0, this goes back down to base 0. I don't need base. Basically, you want. I gotta rewrite this. I'm doing something now. What am I doing? Hitbox is so. Hang on, I'm thinking. Is it not actually? What am I doing? Hang on, I'm thinking. Sorry, can't read that. Hi, welcome in. Working on things. Oh, I can't. Okay. Okay. I don't ever make melee weapons, so that's why I seem to have That's why I surprised this doesn't need a quantum, but this does. Let's make it ever so slightly longer. Let's do that. So it's slightly bigger than the actual weapon itself, for clarity reasons. And then just let it start. That's active. Oh. I'm having difficulties. Is music really that loud? Or is my mic really that quiet? That's okay. That might be too loud. How's this? Come on. Okay, let me just tweak this. That's quieter. Okay. You know what? Max volume. I don't know. Look, I'm not turning off the music. You can't make me my music. It's staying on. Well, it's not my music. It's Canto 9 music, but fuck off. Okay, so this is a cooldown. Why did I write this twice? You overturn new weakness points for see that time releases sending it equal to 0. Hitbox does that false. Canceling true. What's that? This is the problem with coding. You got me. I don't know shit about coding beyond what I've barely learned. Hang on. I'm stupid. Why am I making this a coroutine? If hand swing, I can just put this in here. What do you mean you coded the most evil thing possible yesterday? No guard required. Do this. I thought you didn't know how to code. Okay. An enemy that really uses all except. I'm just gonna give you a little piece of advice real quick. Don't do that. Mainly for two different reasons. That's rude. And depending on how you did it, that could be considered malware. So. All it really does is just... The way the cross chat works is... Okay, Can I, like, change the chat box to show... Hang on. Here we go. Okay, both of you chat now. You should be different. Oh, it just reset. Okay. If you do chat now, it will actually tell you which platform you're on. Yep, there we go. It literally shows that Fiji's on Twitch and Nox is on YouTube. All it really does is just let the two platforms connect, even though it's a lot harder. So, I would make it two different chat boxes, but Fuck that. that's so much more work, and I'm not bothered with that. And then if reset equals 0, or no, not equals, it has to be less than equal to. Constant set active false. I mean, it doesn't even matter if you have global switches, that just seems entirely evil. Okay, hang on, I'm screwing myself again. You don't want to make your players mad! Unless you're making a rage game, don't make your players mad! Your players are the entire reason you make a game. Well, other than, you know, if you're EA, you want money, but you don't want to make your players mad. That's the end-all be-all. Yeah, I'm thinking. Sorry. I don't do melee combat. I do guns. Guns are my forte. Plus, I'm not using a tutorial for this. I'm doing this myself. Okay, we're rewriting all this. Whatever. If that's how it's supposed to be, fine, but I'm telling you, that doesn't seem like a good idea. Let's just bring back my old system. What? Can you not? Hang on. God. Why am I okay? I'm figuring this out. Public list pool weapon types equals new list pool melee range. Does this work? No, of course not. Alright, I'm just gonna make these pools. Actually, I don't even need is melee. If I just make it is ranged, I can just detect if that's on or off. Public pool is ego. If is ranged. Put melee code here. Also, if is ego. Put base melee code here. Else, if, what else? If is ego. Put base ranged code here. And I don't even need to add just like an is ego. Because I can just do that in here. Or actually no, I can just do else. Yeah. Else. Put ranged ego here. Put melee ego here. There we go. Okay. Format it. I think. Y'all can read this, right? Y'all understand what this means? Like, without the comments, you would understand what this means? God, I hope so. I have to, like, occasionally check. Okay, Nox. You know what ego is. Header weapon parameters. Public float damage. Okay, right, you never got that far in Olympus. Okay. So sorry. Oh, putting it simply, let's take it back a moment. What this does is in the update function, it's detecting if it has a Boolean or true/false statement of is this a ranged weapon. If that's false, it's a melee weapon. Then it's detecting if it's an ego weapon. If it isn't, it's just a base melee weapon. But if it is, it's an ego melee weapon. Otherwise, it's a ranged weapon, and then it's doing the same checks. Like, is it an ego weapon? Otherwise, it's basically just, you know, it's an ego weapon. Like, magic bullet. I don't know. Oh yeah, statuses. I have to add those. How did Ruina do them? I'm actually gonna bring this up, because I actually don't know how Ruina did it. Let's look at bleed. I'm gonna quickly so yeah, sure, whatever, that doesn't matter. What? What the fuck? Okay. Hang on, I forgot. I can't do it like that. I need to change it. Sure, specific window. Here we go. Let's look at burn. I don't know. Okay, so from what I'm... Oops. Let me do that. From what I'm reading... Falling something from battle unit buff. Other... scripts. What the fuck? Oh, right. Project Moon doesn't know how to code. Okay, hang on. So... battle unit buff. Jesus Christ. I always forget that Project Moon doesn't know how to code. And they're better coders than me, but they really don't know how to code. Okay. Whatever. Yeah, we were just looking at the tape, but there it is. That was a waste of time. Wait, actually, no, it wasn't. Let me bring that back up. Burn. Using sound. What does this mean? Using sound. So... hydrate. I don't have water on me. I should probably go grab some. Oh, magic numbers. But from what I'm reading, Uh, Let me look at another... effects. Let me just look at, like, dice power. Okay, I see. Okay, so from what I'm reading, I can't find what this means, but I know what this is. It's this, but like a custom function. From what I'm reading, it's declaring what if it's a positive or not. If it's positive, make it clear it's positive. Otherwise, it's negative. And then just going through all those. Yeah. Okay. But for right now, we'll come back to this because I don't want to make a melee weapon, I'm realizing. Let's make something more interesting. Do y'all want to make a system? Wait, no, I shouldn't call it that. I'm gonna go grab some water. I will be right back. Y'all listen to the music. Oh, and look at the plushies. Alright, I'm back. Got some water. Alright. And Fiji, finally. I have hydrated. Ah. It's cold. Let me switch sides to me. Alright. Yes, I need to drink more water anyway. Okay. I seriously do need to find this, like how they did this. Oh, it's a class. Oh, wait, no, it's not. Hang on, I'm still trying to figure this out. Okay, behavior action bit. Behavior action base. I'm believing it's an unaccessible. Okay, well, looks like we have to do this myself. Alright. Let's see. Public pool is positive. Wait, hang on. I've made... That's... Okay. Hang on. So... Good. Player combat stats. Okay. Hang on. Let me think. Alright, let's make this actually how it should be. Public int. Genetic. Okay, public int ID. Public int or string. Status name, public bool is positive, public int max count, public int max potency, public float decay, rate, public bool is sub status. Like, there's core statuses and then there's the sub statuses. So we make a public status effect and a public status effect, but with int ID, string status name, bool is positive. Actually, I don't like doing caps. You know what I'm gonna do instead? Underscores. Camel casing is so much more appealing to me. And then ID equals ID. That's how they did it? I am using a tutorial for this, but like in the weirdest way possible. So, I once tried to make a poker game. I've said this before. Is positive equals is positive. And I used a tutorial for a bit. Here's the weird part about that. I still use that tutorial, and I'm using that right now for this, because that's the only tutorial I found that, like, that works for me, for some reason. I don't know... I don't know why. Alright. I mean, must have a return type. 15, 15, 15. Forgot that you had to actually name it the exact same as the script. So this is essentially the core of what it is. There's the idea of what status it is, the name of the status, is it a positive status, the maximum count it can have, the maximum potency it can have, how quickly it decays, and is it a substatus? And then we have the status effect list right here. I didn't really want to make... Shit, sorry. Of course, what? What? What do you mean, of course? What? Huh? Banana? Hang on, I'm sorry. I gotta pull this up. Esgu Sync Gregor.
Oh, hello.
Oh, hello there.
Okay,
sorry,
these guys
sorry.
for
Okay,
basically
wait,
getting
sorry.
me back
No,
into making
wait,
content.
I'm sorry. If at 5 plus, that's the end of the sentence?
What?
Wait, what?
It's
What?
5 plus what? Fucking bananas?
Nox, you saying that just reminded me of that. Oh, is it? No, it's not. Okay. That's that. That's all I wanted to share on that. And then...
Here's on how to make a
Okay, yes. Publicly awake. Let's get the Hmm. Actually, no, I shouldn't do this because the statuses all work very differently from each other. Okay, it would be a lot easier if I could actually find like the base systems that they used in Ruina for I don't know, search by dice? No, what? Wait. What do you mean script's not found? Okay. It looks like we're gonna have to get more interesting. Let me keep looking through this. What do you mean it's linked? Okay. I just wish I knew what this meant. Wait. I'm trying to think. So these things don't exist anymore. We're making that very clear. Um I'm trying to think because I hate to say it, I've done nothing in the past hour and a half. Everything I've been doing has amounted to nothing. We're still at the same point. I made one new script and it doesn't do anything yet because I need to code it. No, I'm being serious. I've literally done nothing. I'm back at square one because I'm trying to find things that I can't find. all because I don't know how to make a status effect system myself. Wait. Hang on, I'm thinking. Wait a second. Wait, no. I do know how to do this. Well, not me. I watched a short video, but I did figure it out. So, did this guy literally create an entirely new script for just enumerators? Why? Hang on.
I first started making games in Unity and interchangeably. For this video, just think of them as the same thing. So operating within a class, you pretty much have access to everything else in that class, either through direct specifics in a ball pit. It's just pointing to a blueprint. Think of it like this: if we have a bunch of balls in a ball pit, referencing the color big data pointer is by we could define a field for each ball, serialize it so that the field shows in the editor, and then go and assign these to speed. This works fine. But this approach does limit us in a number of ways. First, if you have a lot of game objects, then assigning all of these in the editor can be extremely tedious and also gets pretty messy in the script. But the biggest problem with assigning objects in the editor is that this has to be done before the game runs. If, at runtime, which just means while the game is running, we create a new ball, then our manager won't have a reference to this new object and static class. If I want the and set it equal to this instance of our class. If you're not familiar with the static keyword, I would do some further research about it because it takes some time to wrap your head around how exactly it works. Anyway, now that we have a static instance of this class, all our balls can access it using the static variable. We'll be able to speak to our manager because our manager is a static instance, and so it is globally accessible from any class within our instance. Our ball manager overwrite each other, because we can only ever have one static instance for any given class, which is a pretty big limitation and puts us back to square one about how we can communicate with the balls from our ball manager. Using this static approach only works on objects that have a single instance, so for our many balls, using a static instance is not an option to enable communication between our manager and balls. But all hope is not lost, for this is where events can come in handy. In this case, we can use events to communicate between. For example, the event doesn't actually have to be static because we've already made our ball manager class static, so it can be referenced via our static instance of this ball manager class, but I'm making it static regardless. Anyway, don't worry too much about that, is to begin the name of an event. To an event will be notified. Event is disable balls that invokes the event. We use the null conditional operator here given by the question mark and period to avoid null reference errors if no one is subscribed to this event.
Okay, I'm thinking. So, I need to make this a class. Meaning, this? No. Doesn't exist. It's not a mono behavior. This is entirely its own thing. So I have to make this into its own thing. I've never made an actual class before. So, we're going to do this together. This is the entirety of the rest of the stream. Making the status effects class work.
Being to control game object image value. Now, weapon actually has a public damage values parameter. If to make a command to our damage values, all we need to do is above the class declaration realize we can see that. But what inspector? So we see that we have a private string for but see Unity. We can see and we can edit it. That's like on the video and subscribe to the.
Is that it?
Just like we expected. But what about if
How does this guy do it?
Hi everyone, show a weapon damage values per realize stand if above realize
Oh, it's not Unity Engine system. Okay. So we got the name, got the type of the we got the damage type it does, the is and is positive. Now let's. Why does it keep changing? It keeps resetting, which is so weird. Banana. Let's see if I can make burn. That's visual scripting. Fuck visual scripting. Well, that seemed to work. Let me just put burn. Actually, the science will not be here. See, does this work? I just want to see if this works. No, no it doesn't. Hang on.
Hi everyone, in the inspect.
Wait. Oh, he made these. Let me try this. Make him a couple of changes. Aha! Okay. Huh? Okay. So... Let's see here. I'm gonna get rid of this. I'm figuring this out as I go. because as I've welcome back, Tonks. Because as I've made it clear, I've never made a class before, so yeah. Hang on. Fuck, I'm trying to figure this out. Okay. So I have to. No, wait. God, I hate going back to Tifereth over and over again, but I want to see how it works. Let me look at how they. I gotta update this. This is not going well. All because I have no idea what the fuck I'm doing. Like, figure this out. Don't know why it needs. Doesn't need this? Oops. Only other issue is no one else that I know uses Unity, so core dot burn health. That is not what I... Wait. Oh god. Oh, I see what I did. Oh, I'm dumb. Hang on. I'm figuring this out. Or barely figuring it out. What's... Look, I planned to stream for 4 hours today, but I'm realizing this is just annoying and tedious, watching me amount to do nothing. So, here's the plan. The stream's over. It's ending. And I hate to say it, but there won't be another game dev stream until next week. However, this does not mean I am not working on this in the background. I am going to learn how to do classes and all of this myself without having to bumble my way through it in front of people. And the next time you see me, I should be more able to do things. So as per usual, let's go raid. Okay. Stream manager. Obviously, I don't know if anyone's actually watching right now, but here, raid channel. Search. Let's just go stream. Go. Yeah, like this. Yeah, whatever. I'll just go raid this person, I guess.